classrooms. So this is almost like, just going to someone's classroom and just taking a peek at it and learning from our own peers, how they do their classes. And hopefully that might inspire us with our own teaching and learning, specifically with our own online classes. So I'm very, very happy today to welcome Dr. Shiba Chinoli from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences at the Department of Geography. Dr. Shiba is going to be sharing with us her spectrum page for one of her classes, and she's going to be showing us how she structures and lays out her spectrum page so that it's easy for students to navigate, and most importantly, so that it's also easy for her to go and put in the resources that she needs for her students. So Dr. Shiba, welcome. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. How are you today, Dr. Shiba?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Amira.
Okay, you're welcome. Very, very happy that you're here, and I can't wait to actually take another peek at your class. So perhaps we can start. Dr. Shiba, would you like to share your spectrum page now?
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Amira, for the introduction, and EDIC for inviting me to this webinar to share teaching and learning experience using my spectrum during this 100% online teaching period. For your information, actually, I'm using a MacBook, which occasionally gives me some problem if I use Google Meet or Microsoft Teams. So please bear with me if there arises any technical glitch. I hope there will not be any. So let me share my screen now. So I hope you all can see, right?
Yep, it looks good, Dr. Shiba. I can see it.
Okay. So last semester, when we moved to online teaching, at a short notice, I was looking for effective, organized online learning tool, as well as strategies to teach 100% online. I think we all remember Dr. Amira's comprehensive webinar on online teaching and teaching template, exploring the different aspects of the online teaching template. So I was going through different the tools that I can use for my online teaching. For example, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, etc. And I found this template as handy, simple, and this also enables me to use our official learning management system, which is Spectrum. And therefore, I decided to go with
Okay, I think Dr. Shiba had a little bit of a technical glitch, possibly.
say
Dr. Shiba, are you there? I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that? I think we're having a little bit of a connection issue. Okay. There, this is part and parcel of online teaching. We'll be back online soon. Okay, there's Dr. Shiba back online.
I'm not sure why this, but the spectrum is
Don't
not
worry.
showing here.
Okay, I'm sure it'll be coming back on soon. That happens. It happens in our classes. So this is also a peek into, I think, something many of us have experienced in the past few months and maybe the past few weeks as well.
Yeah.
Dr. Shiba, Umu here. Can you try checking your connection for a while? Just disconnect and connect back. Is that okay?
Okay, Umu, maybe you can contact Dr. Shiba to recheck her connection on WhatsApp. While we are doing that, until Dr. Shiba is able to reconnect, maybe I will just very quickly share the template that Dr. Shiba was mentioning just now. Dr. Shiba, if you hear me anytime that you're back on, just feel free to interrupt and I'll pass the screen back to you.
Okay.
Umu, can you please inform Dr. Shiba? Oh, Dr. Shiba is there. Okay.
Yeah, I can only, I mean, the problem is only to go into the spectrum.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps. Do you want to try and do that? And I will share maybe the the template that you mentioned just now.
Yes, that will
Okay.
be
All
helpful.
right. We'll do that. Okay. So let me just take over the screen shortly. So Dr. Shiba was mentioning a template just now that she was using. So I will just be showing you where the template is very, very quickly while we wait for Dr. Shiba's spectrum to come back on. So let me share my screen. Dr. Shiba, I'll be taking over from you. Once you're ready, just click on present and then you can have the screen back. So I'm about to share my screen. Please bear with us for a few moments. Okay, so some of you may have already seen this template, but a couple of months ago, I shared something called an online lesson flow
Why it's
template.
not cannot hear?
I'm sorry? Hello? Okay, perhaps that wasn't meant for us. So Dr. Shiba is actually going to be sharing how she uses this template, but in essence, this is just a very, very simple template for our to help us structure our online lesson or the one online class that we have each week. So basically, the idea is that for each lesson or for each class that we run, say for a 1 hour that we usually run, physically, or 2 hours or 3 hours, we would then have an online class on Spectrum for that. So this template basically gives us a flow of how to structure that particular online lesson on the Spectrum page. I'm actually using Google Classroom to house this template, and but it's actually something that can be adopted for Spectrum, for Moodle, or for any other kind of online
Your device is
um,
switching on this.
online classes. I'm sorry, I
Okay,
think there's some. Can we all please kindly mute our mics? Okay, thank you. But of course, Dr. Shiba, anytime that you're ready, just hop on in and let me know. So for this template, basically the idea is that we would have a template for one class. So this, let's just pretend that this is one class. So the first thing that you would ideally put on Spectrum on for your particular class that week, possibly it could be week 12 or week 10 or topic 8 or topic 9. The first thing would actually be a pop-in message or a welcome message from the lecturer. And then the next thing that you would put in would be your teaching material. This could be something like your notes or something that you want the students to read. And you could also put in another teaching material. And then after that, you could put in an activity. This activity could be something like a quiz, a short quiz, not for grades, but more for formative assessment, or a little activity like a forum. You could have maybe 2 activities. And at the end of it, we have a teacher pop-out message or something like a conclusion, or a summary of that one particular class. So the idea of structuring our online lesson this way is so that it simulates the structure and flow of a usual normal physical classroom. Because usually when we come into the classroom at the beginning of the class, we would, say hello to the students. Maybe we would tell them what we're going to be teaching them on that day. Perhaps we might give them instructions, what they need to do. So we do the same thing as well online. And of course, we can also use this particular pop-in message to sort of like give encouragement to the students. And it can be done either via a short text, like one paragraph or just a few lines, or it could also be done via a short video that you could record and then upload for your students to see. Okay, I'm just going to stop short for a little while here. Let me check back again with Dr. Shiba and see how things are going, whether we're able to get Spectrum back on. Okay, that's great. I think I see Dr. Shiba's Spectrum. All right, Dr. Shiba, I will pass the screen back to you.
Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened because my Wi-Fi was quite stable earlier. Then suddenly, So I hope you can see the screen now, right?
Can you try share again?
Okay. I hope you can hear me and see the screen now.
Yes, Dr. Shiba, we can hear you, and your Spectrum is on the screen now.
Okay, thank you. All right. So let me show one of the courses I'm teaching this semester. That is the climate and community. So this course I've arranged as Dr. Amira mentioned. It's kind of topic based, and for that you can see this setting here. Then you can go into the edit setting, and there is this course format, so I can actually change this course format to the flexible sections format. I think the default is usually either topic format or the weekly format. So this course format, if you change it to the flexible section format, it will allow you to add different sessions, right, in the main session. So let me go back to the Spectrum, the course now. So this is arranged as topics. So you can see the first topic is introduction, and I have a few subtopics under this introduction. The first one is the lecture pop-in message. Then I have recorded lectures and videos, and after that there is this additional resources and activities and tutorial, and 1.5 is exam material. Then later I have summary and conclusions. So that is the last part of this subsections, right? So this is actually similar to our physical face-to-face class, and it is, I can say, it is clutter-free and consistent. So I use this template or this labels for my all the other topics too. So you can see the topic 2, which is concepts related to climate and climate change and global warming, and I have the similar pattern. The first one is the lecture pop-in message. Then I have the content, which is lectures and recordings. And then I have this additional resources, activity, tutorial, exam materials, and summary and conclusion. So I follow the same structure until all the topics. And in the first topic, you can see the lecture pop-in message. The topic is introduction, and after that you can see the lecture pop-in message. This is like, when you go into the physical class, we will greet the student. We might explain something about the details that they need to know when they go into the learning material, and all those announcements or kind of housekeeping announcements I will keep here. And if this class is going to be a synchronous class, that means if I use Zoom to do the synchronous class. So I will also put here the announcement or invitation for the class, and how they can find the materials arranged in this session. All this information I will put in the lecture pop-in message. You can actually record yourself saying, hello to the student, etc. I think this will give you a teacher presence, which I think it's essential when we teach the online class. And then I have this recorded lectures and videos, right? So this is my content, the content for this topic. So here you can see there is introduce yourself. Actually, this is a Padlet link. So the students can introduce themselves, and also they can put some photos there, right? So this is useful for me to get to know, because this is a faculty course where I have students from different background, so I will know which department they are from, and also give a kind of face-to-face feeling, right? So they will also see my photo. I'm not sure whether I can click on that. We'll go into different. Okay, so this is my Padlet. So here my details. Then there are students' details here, so I can get the Okay, we are back. All right, so that is the introduction by the students. Then I have this video, that is a recorded video of my the online class, synchronous class. Then I have the PowerPoint that I use. Then there is actually a subsection for this introductory section, and where I put a link to the video they can watch. Then after that, I have this additional resources. These are optional resources or reading material that students can use. And after they go through this reading material or additional resources, they can also look into these activities. So activities are similar to the tutorials, right? They have a forum to answer within 3 or 4 days. So that will be the tutorial. Then I will also put some important points or concepts that is related to this topic, so that they can use it for the exam point of view. Then I have finally the summary and conclusion. So in the summary and conclusion, which is also a page, I will put, I may summarize what they learn, and also the feedback or some reflection, some comments on their the learning activities, and I will summarize also what they can expect in the next section. And yes, so that is one whole topic. I hope I'm still visible and you all can hear me, right?
Yes, you're still visible and we can hear you. That was very interesting, the way that you've actually structured your lesson very nicely. So just to check, you mentioned just now that you're using this for every single lesson. Is that right? Every single topic?
Yes. So this is introduction. Then I have the second topic, concepts related to climate and climate change, global warming. So I use the same consistent kind of structure for the second topic. So I have few subtopics here because it's a bit complex topic. Then after that, I have again the additional resources, right? So and activity after they go through the additional resources or learning material, they can do this activities. Sometimes it might be a assignment, Turnitin assignment, or it can be a quiz. Then I have the exam material, and I follow the same kind of arrangement for the rest of my topic. So yeah.
Okay, so that means that basically when a student sees, like next week, you will have a class, and when a student actually does that online class, they will know what to expect based on the structure that you've already given the weeks previously.
Yes.
Okay, that's really great. So let's talk a little bit about, if you can, how you communicate with the students, like maybe announcements that you make to the students at the beginning before you actually started this class, or to tell them about how you're going to be structuring this Spectrum page.
Sorry, I think there was a break in between, right?
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Can you? Okay, that's great. Can you share about how you make announcements to students?
yeah. So for the announcement, the general announcement, I just use the normal announcement method. You can send the announcement to the whole, all of your, the students of your class. So that is the general announcement. So in that, I put what we are going to do. What are the things that you have to take care when you are online, and that is the normal announcement. But for the topic wise, maybe let me show a full topic that. So this topic, yeah, the topic on paleoclimate and the climate reconstruction. So for this particular topic, if there is any announcement or any thing they have to do, I will put it here. I use a page for this, so that when they go into the page, when they click into the page, they can see what I expect them to do, right? So in this topic, I have a forum and also a wiki, and there was two synchronized classes using Zoom, so the invitation is there, and also for the information on the Turnitin.
Just to clarify, Dr. Shiba, that particular announcement that you made for topic number, was it 4.4?
Yeah.
The one that you just showed us, that was actually an announcement that you made during last semester, is that right?
Yes.
Before you move into online teaching?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That was
Okay.
the description for that.
Okay, so that means that if we were to apply that in this particular situation now, like because we've already started with online teaching from the beginning of the semester, so perhaps if you are going to no longer do, video live lectures, and you want the students just to do asynchronous learning on Spectrum, you can then have a similar announcement to tell them that you're going to be doing that this particular week. Would that be right?
Yes, and also even if it is synchronized, I usually record the video and I upload it in the Spectrum, so that if any of the students who couldn't attend, they can come and watch at their own their own time.
Okay, all right. So you have a synchronous class where the link to the live synchronous class is actually in the announcement.
Yes,
Um,
yeah. Usually it will be in the lecture pop-in message. I will put there.
okay. Can we have a look maybe at how you give the students the link for their class for their video on live class?
Okay,
Okay.
so that is in the welcome and introduction. So it's a page actually. Then when they click, they can see this. There is the link and also the password, time, and everything. So they can come to the class at the time that is mentioned here. So this will be on before 1 week. So they will have time to go through it and arrange themselves.
Okay. So before this, I vaguely remember when we were in conversation before we actually started this webinar. Early on, you did mention something about a WhatsApp group that you had
Oh,
created early.
yeah, that is because some of them in this semester they said they couldn't access the spectrum or they didn't have the subjects on the spectrum. So what I did is I created a WhatsApp group and also I put the link here. And so that other people can add the friends who cannot access the spectrum. So a WhatsApp group acts like a secondary communication tool than the spectrum.
Okay, that's great. I think this is something very useful. Some of us are definitely using WhatsApp groups now, but it's very useful to actually see where you put it in the spectrum so that it's something that students, if they register a little bit later and miss the earlier part of the class, they can still probably go in there and look for it. Okay. Dr. Shiva, so we've seen the structure of your class. Can we maybe talk about some of a couple of the tools that you use in the class? So you have at the very top there an attendance link. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So I think last semester what I did was I created a small forum in
Okay, let's give Dr. Shiva a few moments. I'm sure she'll be back again soon.
So if there is someone who need the attendance record for one particular student or few students for the purpose of visa or something similar to that, it would be difficult for us to compile everything. For that, I use this attendance starting from this semester. So when you click here on the left-hand side of the spectrum, there is this the menu that you can see, and one of the block is for attendance. Then when you click on this block will be on your particular course, right? Um, then you need to make some adjustment for this so that you can allow the students to put the attendance themselves or mark the attendance themselves. So here there is a session that you can add. You can add sessions, right? So I already add one session. Then from that, maybe I can try. I'm not sure whether it will, again make problem for me. Okay, so this is working. So you can see the add session, then you can put your date of your class and the time, and also can allow the students to record themselves, right? Then maybe you can have multiple sessions so that every Monday or Tuesday, whenever is your class, the attendance link will be there for the students to click on and mark themselves, right? So I'm not sure whether there is any additional things that you can do with this, but I only use it as a repeated session so that the students can mark the attendance themselves. I think there are things that you can give passwords to students, and you can monitor, you can get the control of them marking the attendance. Then you have to save it. So if you want to add a session for tutorial, you can do that. Then later on, you can download the whole attendance from your spectrum. And I think there is also the QR code I think because it is Mac, I don't know whether it is Safari. I couldn't see that, but usually I can see the QR code on the right hand side. So if we are using it for the face-to-face class, physical class, maybe they can just record using their phone.
Okay, so that's how you use attendance. I know that many people are using attendance. Some are using Spectrum attendance, some are not. But definitely having that attendance uh, link there will be very useful because, like you said, it makes it easier for us to actually check the attendance for each student for each week rather than going into the different activities and then having to sort of like see whether the student is there or not. So that we do actually, I think, have a recorded video webinar on attendance, so we can check on that. There is a question in here from Prof. or Dr. Aisha Abdullah, who is actually having problems with creating students' attendance for over 300 students. But I think Dr. Zahir is formerly our head of e-learning, but he is now the newly appointed deputy director at EDAC. So congratulations, Dr. Zahir. And Dr. Zahir will be taking care and helping Dr. Aisha on that separately. So if we just look on back to Dr. Shiba's Spectrum page, can I ask a little bit about your continuous assessment folder that you have underneath the announcement there? What is that folder?
This is actually where I put, I think I don't have anything yet. So I will put all the
Okay, Dr. Shiba, you're back.
okay.
Okay, and the internet went off again on the Spectrum. Okay, there it is. Thank goodness. Okay, so that's you were saying about the continuous assessment folder. That is where you will put in continuous assessments for marking. Is that right? Okay, we'll give Dr. Shiba a few moments. Dr. Shiba, I think you're back. Would
Yes.
you like to share about what you're going to be doing with the continuous assessment folders?
Yeah, all the information I will put here. Usually, it might be a Turnitin assignment or some video that they can make, and they can put the link here. So that is what I use this continuous assessment folder for.
Okay, all right. That would be very useful for the students not to have to ask you where it is because you can see it right there. So now, can you tell us a little bit about that really nice image that you have down there? How did you get that there and what is that for?
As we know, our the spectrum is based on the Moodle, right? So that's one of the reason I'm using this template, and I'm also using Spectrum for my online teaching, because you can get a lot of online help on the Moodle. So this is actually, I was trying to figure out something else. Then I find this instead of putting the text on your topic heading, you can actually add image. So if you can see this small little icon here to edit the setting, you can click on that. I'm a bit scared now to click anything because that make me go out of my internet. And so when you click on that the settings, you can see the section name and also summary. So there are many icons here. So if you can see here, there is some tab to add image. Then you can add image using this tab. I'm not clicking on it. Then you can see the selection, the tab for you to select the image. You can also change the image format or the size of the image. Then you can put the image here, so it will come as your topic heading. So this is actually the first page of my PowerPoint, just to show this as my topic heading.
Okay, that's nice because then it kind of like breaks up the monotony of just having text after
Yes.
text after text, right? Um, I'd like to ask you also, we talked a little bit previously about maybe exploring Wiki, but before we do that, Dr. Shiba, can you maybe show us the student view of your Spectrum page? That we can see how the, I think you have to go all the way up to the next to your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. So as we all know, students have a different view. It's a much cleaner view than what we see because we have the editing view of the Spectrum page. So if we click on that student view, that will help us see what exactly the students see on our Spectrum page.
So I am afraid you wouldn't see much because most of it I've hide it. So this will be what they can see, right? I have the attendance announcement. Then I have all the topics here, subsessions, and yeah.
Okay, so that's very nice and clean. And I think more importantly, you can really see the flow of your topic 1 and the topic 2. So I think that'll be very helpful for the students. Thanks for sharing that, Dr. Shiba. You can probably go back to your normal role, and then we can talk a little bit about Wiki. So I know that you're not using Wiki yet per se, but we did, talk about how you might want to explore it. Would you be able to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can show you that. So this is going to be one of the activity under this session 4 on paleoclimatology. This topic is big complex, so I'm planning to use this as a group assignment for them. So this is the main page, paleoclimatology, and under this I have several pages so that the students can come and modify or add the material, and later on maybe they can use this as a additional material for them to refer for the exam. So here you can see the first page is introduction, right? So I'm still creating it, so you wouldn't see much on that. So they can put introduction on the paleoclimate. Then we have another few sessions here, different part of this paleoclimatology. And after that, they can also put conclusions, references, external links for this session. So compared to the forum, here they can put more information and also some infographics, all those things. And also I can see the history, who is, modifying it. And if I do not want them to modify something, I can also go back to the original version. So that's why I'm planning to use this. I think there are many other benefits to use Wikipedia more than the forum. I have seen you can actually assign a role or assign students to do this so that they can go into a particular session and add materials on that.
Okay, so that's actually allowing students to do kind of like collaborative work on Spectrum itself.
Yeah.
You mentioned something earlier, though, that you have to be a little bit careful about setting up.
Sorry. Yeah. I think when you create the Wikipedia, the the page name. Shalada, I can show you here.
Okay.
There will be the first, when you create this page, there will be an option to put your page name. that page name, I think later on you cannot change it. That is, for me, it's the home. So I think later on you cannot change it. The first part of it, but you can add the sessions using the double brackets in the page here. You can edit this and you can add sessions here. I think there will be people that already using Wiki in the full-fledged way. I'm just starting to use this.
Thank you, actually, Dr. Shiva, for willing to share with us something that you're starting to use. I think the great thing, though, is that when we get to take a peek at our colleagues' classes, just like what Dr. Shiva is allowing us to do, is that we see how we can explore. We see how our colleagues are exploring and trying out the new tools or the new menus, and that's something that I think many of us will be doing bit by bit. Some of us might be feeling a little bit nervous and scared. We don't know how to do this or how to do that, but actually we're all learning and we're all experimenting and we're all just sort of like trying as we go along. So I really, really appreciate, Dr. Shiba, that you actually willing to share this thing that you're doing, even though it's not complete, but you're actually sharing with us what you're doing bit by bit. I hope that will be an inspiration to others as well. Okay, so Dr. Shiva, maybe perhaps now, you can tell us a little bit about the benefits of using this particular structure. You talked a little bit about it just now, but what do you think is actually the benefit for students and for yourself?
Actually, I'm pleased with this template because it's clutter-free. Only 6 subtopics. You can arrange your material, and students are familiar with this learning management system. The learning management system. And another thing is, I don't have to, if I use in a Google Classroom or the Microsoft Team, I have to export everything to the Spectrum for our KPI need and recording purposes, right? So for this, I don't have to do that, and to get the blended status, etc. And also, students are familiar with this system. And another thing is, as I said, the Spectrum is based on the Moodle. There are many ways to get help online, and also you can improve your learning teaching experience for the students. And once you have arranged and organized your Spectrum or your course, it will be very helpful whenever it is offered in next time. And also you can make modifications, since it is not weekly based, it is topic based. So next when you offer your course, you can just make some modification, and you can save your time. And also we can get help from edX experts. I always look forward to the Spectrum Clinic, where I can get one-to-one assistance from experts like Dr. Zahir and this team. So that's why I'm using Spectrum and this template.
Sorry, I actually had problems unmuting myself just now. Dr. Shiva, we actually have a request here from somebody. Can you just show how we change to student view?
So you can click here near your profile and your name. Then you have this drop out menu, right? So there is switch role to. Then you can select. Do you want to be a student or a guest or a non-editing instructor? So here I click the student. Then you can get the student view.
Okay, we'll wait a while for that to come on. Basically, the student view is the neat and clean version of what students will see. Okay, I think the person asking now has understood how to find the student view. So thank you for sharing, giving us a little mini tutorial on how to get student view on Spectrum. We have another question here from Prof. Deborah. Prof. Deborah says, nice sharing, Dr. Shiba. And she would like to ask, how long does each topic last? Is it a week? Do all topics last the same length of time?
Not really. Some of the topic is just week, 1 week. You might have remember the introduction topic that is just for a week. I have one subtopic there. See whether I can go again. Some of the topic is more than a week, but that will be informed in the message.
Okay, that's all right. I think I'll just need to get back into the same class just now. Okay, we give Dr. Shiba a few more moments. Okay, you're back.
I think the problem is I'm not sure why I cannot click the spectrum. I cannot go back and to the different sections. Then it will kick me out.
It's okay. You always got back in, so that's great. Okay, so you're sharing the link. Okay, so Dr. Shiba, we have another question. So you were saying just now in answer to the question about how long each topic is. So you're saying that some will last. Sorry, could you repeat that again about how long each topic is, whether it's a week or less, or they're
Yeah.
the same length of time?
Some of the topic will be just for a week, like 2 classes. Some of the topics can be more than that if the topics is complex and I have several subsections, so it can be more than a week. So all the information I will put in here in the lecture pop-in message, so that they will know how long it's going to be. And but all the details or all the materials that I will put it here under the same topic.
Okay, so students will actually find out how long they should be spending on that topic, whether it's for 1 week or maybe 2 weeks. Okay, that's very useful to know. And we have another question now. Somebody is asking, I think Prof. Dr. Noel Hazlina, Dr. Shiba, besides Padlet and Wiki, what other tools do you usually use in Spectrum?
I use forum, then feedback, and I think, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Forum, feedback, wiki, quiz, Turnitin assignments. Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned quiz. Maybe perhaps there's someone here who's asking, how do you create a quiz in Spectrum? Do you think you have time to share with about how to create a quiz? If you don't, then perhaps we can have. I think there's some resources as well on how to do that. Would you be able to show, or we just want to ask Dr. Zahid to take care of that later?
I think it's better for Dr. Zahid to take care of it. Not because the quiz is not in this course. So I'm not comfortable to go another course, then come back. I will not be here anymore, right? I have a problem with the Wi-Fi, so I dare not to go out of this course.
Okay, right. Understood. But just to let all of you know, if I'm not mistaken, on the ADEC website under Teach Online, we do have a recording of a webinar that Dr. Zahe has done on the quiz function from several months ago. So you can check that out there. Now, someone's asking, do you use Kahoot?
Sorry?
Have you ever used something called Kahoot?
Kahoot? No, I haven't. But I have seen people using for quiz. I think that is a good tool if you want to have online assessment, right?
Yeah, it's good for sort of like getting students engaged and having fun, like gamifying the class a little bit. But again, that's something that I think we can find a lot of resources on that as well. Well, Dr. Shiba, we have another question coming in from Dr. Nur Saada. Yes, I think this is important. Prof. or Dr. Nur Saada is asking, can you kindly show how will the flexible format look like? if you're sharing the course with another lecturer, thus sharing the Spectrum page. Okay, Dr. Shiba, if you'll allow me to answer that, but
Yes.
if you could kindly help me out by, I hope this doesn't kick you out of Spectrum, but if you could kindly go back to the course settings page just to show where the flexible format is.
Okay.
To answer that question, how does a flexible format look like if you're sharing the course with another lecturer? It looks exactly the same like it does when you are the only lecturer on that course. So the only difference is that you can check in the logs or the report on who is the person that created the the new section or anything like that. Um, Okay, and Dr. Zahir has also, I think, shared a link to some resources online. So, Dr. Shiba, you're clicking on Edit Settings now,
Yeah.
and this will actually take us to how you can change the format of
Yes.
the Spectrum page.
So you can go here, the edit setting. Then there is this tab for course format. Then I think as I said, the default is to it will be like topic format or weekly format. So you can click on the flexible section format, then save and display. So what it does is it will allow you to do this subsessions. So, for example, there is this, introduction. Then, if you want to add subsessions here, so you can add subsection. There is this one. So, if you add now, if I add the subsection, it will come under the main session at 1.1 of the lecture pop-in message. So you can add a subsection, then you can name the section. Um, so when you add a subsection, you can see this topic 4, and you can name the session accordingly. Then you can save it.
Okay, so that basically means that if you can just scroll down a little bit, Dr. Shiba, just a little bit so we can see the heading for that main section just now. Basically, a subsection or using the flexible format allows us to create a subsection inside another section. So you've just showed us how to create a subsection inside the 1.1 lecture pop-in message section. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing about that. I just saw Dr. Zahi actually also has an example to show. So if it's okay, Dr. Shiba, can we get your permission? We'll just hijack it a little bit and we will let Dr. Zahi come on for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So Dr. Zahi, please feel free to come on in now and share your screen. Dr. Zahir, are you coming in? Okay, we'll wait for Dr. Zahir to come on the screen and share his screen. Dr. Zahir, do you have a mic? Okay, I think Dr. Zahir is sharing a screen now, but we cannot hear you, Dr. Zahir. Okay, Dr. Zahir is asking us to wait a bit. Haha. Okay, all right. We'll give Dr. Zahir a few moments with that. So while we're waiting a short bit there, just to ask, is Dr. Yazid in here? I saw Dr. Yazid shortly just now.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Dr. Yazid, are you from in your office at engineering now?
Yes, I'm in my office.
Okay, all right.
Work
So
on
just
site
want
today.
work on site. Okay, so work on site, work from home. Everybody is still using the online platforms.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, See, I think Dr. Zahid is having some slight problems with his microphone. Okay, that's all right. So, maybe we can try out. So, Dr. Zahid, what would you like to do? Would you like to type and share, or do you just want to show your page? Okay, so everybody, Dr. Zahid will be typing. If you are not yet familiar on where to find what Dr. Zahid is typing, you can actually go to the top of this Google Meet page, and then you'll see a little chat sign. So if you click on that, you'll see the chat where people can type in questions and where Dr. Zahid will be typing in a little bit of a short sharing about how he uses flexible formats. Okay, so this is the sample page for the flexible section or the flexible format section. It's not a real course, but it's a useful sample page. And as you can see here, there are several sections already there. I think Dr. Zahid will be updating us on. So as you can see, Dr. Zahid has separated the different sections that you see in there. So there's actually one section called, I believe, Dr. Irene, and inside the Dr. Irene section, there are several topics. I think this probably answers the question of how the flexible section format would look like or can be used when we have different lecturers in the same course. So this is the section for a single lecturer named Dr. Irene. Okay, so there are different sections for different lecturers in here. So this is the section for Dr. Zahir, Dr. Zahir's section. Okay. So I think this is actually this is something that it's all about design actually. So when we're creative with it, we can actually think of how we want to design the spectrum page. So this is the way that Dr. Zahir's colleagues, all teaching one course. We'll pretend there's one course. So everybody teaching that course has actually designed this, agreed to design it this way. And Dr. Zahir says that the way I arrange this is that there are sections for general population of the course. So that would be the section on Fakulti Pertanian, where there's a note there that says Pelajar Fakulti Pertanian, sila gunakan bahagian ini. And there's also a general section called Umum, where you have general information for all of the students. Is that right, Dr. Zahir? I hope I'm interpreting this correctly for you. Okay, while we wait for Dr. Zahir to, okay, so Dr. Zahir has added that he has a separated section restricted for a single group of students. And I believe that separated section for a single group of students would be the section on Fakulti Pertanian, specifically for Fakulti Pertanian students. Assuming that this is a university course and we have students coming from different faculties, so Dr. Zahi has created a separate section for students from each faculty. So one is Fakulti Pertanian, the next one can be a different faculty. Okay. All right. So we have, okay, no worries, Dr. Zahir, for the spelling. I can understand what you're typing. Okay, we've got, okay, Prof. Deborah has a very interesting question. How do you prevent another lecturer from accidentally editing or deleting your course material? Okay, Dr. Zahir, you've got to answer this. I'm guessing there is no way, but perhaps there is. So Dr. Zahir, if you can quickly type something short about that. Oh, there is no way. All right. So it's very important that you have good communication with your co-lecturers to ensure that nobody actually accidentally deletes something that you've actually put in on the Spectrum page. Very important to talk to one another, and this is actually part of actually co-teaching a course. Very important to actually collaborate and design the Spectrum page together with the other lecturers. So this is probably something that we can try to do with our co-lecturers. We do have one question here, another question from Che Yohanes. Can we use this format for a guest lecturer who is taking only 3 to 4 sessions? I believe yes, but I'll let Dr. Zahid answer that. And after that, we will go back to Dr. Shiba and we will finish our webinar for today. Okay, enough hijacking from Dr. Zahid. Okay, so Dr. Zahid said, yes, you can use the format for a guest lecturer who is taking only 3 to 4 sessions. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Zahid, for actually guest speaking on our webinar today. And I'll go back to Dr. Shiba. Dr. Zahid, if you can start presenting, we can have Dr. Shiba back. Thank you, Dr. Shiba. I can see you back now. Okay, thank you so much for allowing that little mini hijack. So, just to wrap up in closing, Dr. Shiba, can you maybe just share with our colleagues, how easy or difficult it was to actually start doing this flow and this structure, and how it has helped you in actually, getting your classes online?
Yeah, I think it's not that difficult once once you decided how many different topics you have under this course. Then you can arrange it properly, organize it properly. It will take maybe 1 more hour more than our usual preparation every week, and I'm very pleased to have it because it is it is worth the effort, and it's very much like our normal lecture with constructive visual structure, and it's very consistent from one topic to another, and I think it's easy for the students to navigate. I have seen a lot of reduction in the inquiries from students, so it's kind of self-guided learning for them.
And definitely, I think you have guided the students very well by having this very, very easy to follow, very clean and clear structure. So thank you so much, Dr. Shiba, for allowing all of us, all 50 plus of us, to take a peek into your online class. We really, really appreciate it. And before I say goodbye and thank you to everybody, just a very quick reminder, if you could please kindly fill up a feedback form that we have. It's in the chat. You can just click on it right now. It will take you, I think, very, very little time, just less than 5 minutes. And that will be very helpful for us at ADAC. So again, thank you so much to everybody for coming and joining us. And thank you so much, Dr. Shiba, for allowing us to take a peek at your class. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks a lot.